How much time have you spent trying to change your body, hoping that once you finally look a certain way, you will feel confident, that then you will finally be happy? Well, what if I told you that chasing that perfect body, that ideal body, is actually what is keeping you stuck? Today, we're breaking the cycle of body shame, ditching toxic beauty standards, and are learning how to build real confidence without changing a single thing about your body. If you ever thought, I will feel confident when I lose weight, tone up, or clear my skin, or whatever aesthetic kind of vision you have, keep on watching, because this video is for you. Okay, let me be real with you. I used to spend so much time, so much energy picking apart my body. And no matter what I did, no matter how much weight I lost, how much in shape I got, I still wasn't happy. And then one day I looked back at an old picture of myself, and it was a picture of a time when I thought that I hated my body, that I didn't like my whole appearance, that I just didn't look good enough. And you know what? When I looked at that picture, I realized that actually back then I looked great. But back then I didn't think so. I thought the complete opposite. And that is exactly when I realized that it was never about my body itself. It was about mindset. It was about my mindset. So why does this happen? Like, why do we spend so much time worrying about or waiting to be happy once we change our body, but it actually doesn't really give us what we desire? This happens because we are constantly told that we need to shrink ourselves, fix ourselves, or improve ourselves to be worthy. But the thing is that what is ideal changes all the time. One decade curves are in, the next thin bodies are idolized. Look at the Kardashians. How first they had all those round bodies, and then suddenly they got skinny because of who knows what. I don't want to speculate. And all of this, that ideal that doesn't actually exist or constantly changes, is designed to keep us chasing something that we will never catch. Plus, we often compare ourselves to ideals that don't truly exist. So what I mean by that is heavily edited pictures on social media, or from ads, or influencer, fitness or not, or maybe even celebrities that had work done but pretend they didn't. And on top of that, often those are ideals where only, or kind of like boxes where only a small percentage of people can actually fit in. And this is not just because of genetics, but also because of our values. Think about it. A fitness influencer has so much time to get in that kind of shape. Maybe they have some kind of genetics, and we will never look that way. For example, I think she's a great person, and I love to follow her. For example, Pamela Reif. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she is petite. You can see it already how her mother is kind of tiny. Of course, it's her full-time job, but also she has genetics that probably make it easier for her to stay thin, and she's petite and tiny. I personally could never look that way because I'm tall, have wider hips, and my body shape is completely different. Yes, I can get a bit in shape, but I cannot look exactly like her. Only a small percentage of people can. And yeah, this is not to say anything against her. That was just an example how often we're not even able to achieve certain ideals. And let's be real, who profits from that? The truth is, the wellness and beauty industry make billions and billions every year by intensifying our insecurities. It's an intentional cycle that creates the problem, making us feel inadequate, making us feel bad about ourselves. And then these companies sell us the solution, the products that promise to fix us, some kind of diet product, the new magic pill or whatever. And with targeted marketing everywhere we look, it is nearly impossible to not internalize messages about how we need to improve ourselves, need to improve our bodies to feel worthy. The truth is, our efforts to fit into society's beauty standards are often futile because we're chasing that non-existent ideal. And that constant pursuit not only damages our relationship with our bodies, but it significantly lowers our self-esteem and ultimately our happiness. Just think about, especially for us women, we get picked apart anyways. Look at what happens to celebrities. If they look normal but are more in shape, people would say, or media especially comments, they're too thin, then they gain a little bit of weight, then they're fat. They can never make it right. No matter what, they always get criticized. To give a more specific example, recently I saw a post that highlighted that problem that was about Margot Robbie, how people commented on her body when she was pregnant, how she looked out of shape, and I don't know what negativity that there was. And I mean, she was pregnant. She was pregnant. Like, us women, we never seem to win anyways, it seems, right? Now be honest with me, or actually yourself. Have you ever said, once I lose weight, then I'll feel good about myself? If so, let me ask you, has it ever worked? I've seen this over and over again with myself, with clients. People hit their goal weight, and guess what? The insecurities are still there. We're still there. They still find ways or things to criticize. We try to change ourselves into what we think we should be or do, but then end up losing ourselves. But actually, confidence isn't about the way you look, it's about the way you see yourself. That's something that made a big difference for my life. That is truly a big difference. That is why losing weight, toning up, or changing your appearance is never the real solution, because when we make our self-worth conditional, we'll always find something new that we need to fix. And I guess that's also why we constantly see people in the public eye getting things done all the time, despite being beautiful already, and then maybe end up having gotten too much done. Sometimes there was this contestant in Love Island, Germany, like a while ago. She was so beautiful, and then after she did so many things, because probably she had insecurities about not being pretty enough, but actually she was so beautiful. And there are so many influencers, celebrities, people in the public eye where that happens to. And on top of all of that, an unhealthy body image not only creates a disconnection from our bodies, our values, or power that we have, or our power, but also a disconnection from others. This can include, isolation, eating alone, eating in secret, hiding packages because you feel ashamed. For example, me, I used to feel relieved or happy to be alone, or relieved when someone left, so that I'd be able to binge in secret. And I know so many can relate to this. We kind of tend to feel like we are alone in this, but trust me, so many can relate to this. All right, now with all that being said, how do we actually start changing the way we see ourselves? So for this, here are 4 powerful shifts you can start creating today. First up, challenge unrealistic beauty standards. One of the biggest mindset shifts that helped me heal my body image was realizing how manipulated beauty standards really are. Have you ever noticed how the ideal body type changes every few years? One decade it's curvy, in the next it's ultra thin. Like, it used to kind of be more the way around. In the 90s it was super thin, or still early 2000s, I don't know. And then it was about being curvy and building muscles and that bum and all of that. So this means that the perfect body is literally a trend. And yeah, I mentioned often it's pretty much something that is a fantasy we see online because of the heavy editing and even people getting things done. So then the question comes up, why are we wasting our lives chasing something that doesn't actually exist or isn't even consistent? So the action step to challenge those beauty standards is to unfollow any account that makes you feel like you need to fix yourself. Instead, follow people who are a representation of what feels healthy and balanced to you. Start following people who prioritize feeling good over just looking a certain way. Follow real bodies, not the ultra edited one, hyper filtered one, unrealistic versions we see all over social media, and truly limit exposure to content that makes you feel less than. And next time you catch yourself comparing, ask yourself, would I hold myself to this standard if I had never seen it online? Because if you wouldn't, it means that it was never your belief to begin with. It was one that you were thought to have. Next up, shift from appearance to function. So what I mean by that is, instead of asking, do I look good? Try asking, what does my body allow me to do? Your legs carry you through life. Your arms help you hug the people you love. Your stomach digests the food to keep you alive. And this kind of shift was super hard for me because it's not something that happens overnight. For years, my self-worth was tied to a number on a scale. My happiness was dependent on how I thought I looked in the mirror. But one day, I had a huge wake-up call. I got pretty sick, or more like I ended up having massive back problems. And it was a time when, it was that kind of time where you realize how much you take feeling normal or feeling good for granted. Suddenly, I wasn't thinking about how my stomach looked in the mirror. I was just grateful I even could walk without pain. I wasn't worried about my legs being too big. I was just thankful that I had the energy and the inner strength to push through the pain, get out of the bed and move. It was a lot of days spent mostly laying down, and that's when it hit me. I had spent so much time hating my body for how it looked, but I had never once appreciated what it allowed me to do, which is so much. So the action step here is to shift your focus from how your body looks like to what it does. Write down one thing your body allows you to do that has nothing to do with appearance. Say thank you to your body for showing up for you, even when you weren't kind to it. Start noticing the small things like breathing, breathing deeply, walking, hugging, digestion, even just being able to rest. Because when you appreciate function over aesthetics, you start building a whole new level of self-respect. Then talk to yourself how you would talk to a friend. Think about this. If your best friend said, I feel disgusting today, I hate my stomach, I look so shit, what would you say? Would you say, yeah, you should probably fix that, you look shit or whatever? Well, of course not. I hope so, but I'm pretty sure of course you wouldn't. You'd remind her of all the ways she's incredible beyond her appearance. So why do we talk to ourselves like this? Well, most probably it's because we never created distance between ourselves and those kind of thoughts. So the next time you hear that negative voice in your head, pause. And this is the action step here. Pause to create a gap between you and the thought. Instead of thinking, I hate my body, reframe it to, I notice that I'm having a negative thought about my body. And then ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? If not, replace it with something neutral, not fake positivity, just something neutral. Instead of, I hate my stomach, try, my stomach helps me digest food and it keeps me alive. Or it helps me alive, because you don't have to go from hating your body to loving it overnight. But even just creating some kind of distance between you and your negative thoughts is a big game changer. Then lastly, which is super important, this is a huge one, stop waiting to live your life. So many of us put life on hold because we think we need to fix our bodies first. We wait to wear that bikini. We are about taking pictures. That was a big one for me. That's why, and I regret it because of that, because of not feeling good in my body. I avoided pictures. Like I didn't want to be on pictures because I always felt I look so shit on them. I look so bad on them. And now I don't really have any before pictures that would be beneficial for what I do, right? So that was a big one for me. Or we hide thinking I'll be confident when. But let me tell you something. Your future self is begging you to stop waiting. Trust me. That was, nowadays I still sometimes wish that I would have this mindset or this, how do you say, like this view or this self-image now that I have now, that I would have that I would have had it already in the past, because I would have had more confidence and life would have been easier in many ways. But yeah, we cannot change things. But that's why I want to remind you that your future self is begging you to stop waiting. Trust me. Because have you ever looked back at an old picture of yourself and thought, wow, I actually looked good back then. So why was I so hard on myself? And this is the proof. If past you couldn't see how great you look then, what makes you think that future you won't look back at today and wish you had just lived? Plus, the people who love you, they don't care about your weight, your cellulite, which most of us have, your stretch mark. They just want you. They just love you. Now, an action step to do for this shift is to do one thing that you've been putting off because of your body insecurity. Whether it's taking a photo, wearing that outfit, or just allowing yourself to be seen, this step is super crucial. Now let's recap. Your body is not the problem. The way you've been taught to see it is. Confidence isn't about the way you look, it's about the way you see yourself. And of course, you deserve to live life fully right now and not 10 pounds from now, not 10 years from now. And now I want to hear from you. What is one thing you love about your body that has nothing to do with how it looks? Drop it down in the comments. I'll be reading and replying. And if this video resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And please remember, you are already enough right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.